An Arab terrorist was feeling really brave, and so he grabbed an axe and ran after a little 13-year-old and killed him. And then he ran after a 7-year-old and wounded him, but the 7-year-old managed to outrun him. First, he should be embarrassed that a 7-year-old actually outran him. And secondly, he should be embarrassed that he couldn't find something else to do with his time, like hang out with friends. And the sadder part of this story is that the 7-year-old's dad is serving 15 years in prison for trying to blow up an Arab girls' school. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you don't want people to kill your kids, don't go try and kill their kids. We finally have a government, and it just got sworn in a couple days ago, the largest government in the history of Israel. It stems from what I've been telling you guys, that the only way to make a government is to get all these little parties who are in essence lobbyists for their own pet projects to like you, and the only way to get them to like you is to do what their pet projects are. It's like putting in lobbyists as congressmen. And everybody is vying for power. And Bibi Netanyahu actually wanted to be the finance minister since he is the prime minister and he does get to pick what he wants to be. But this other guy, he's like, no, I want to be finance minister. And so Bibi's like, okay, you can be finance minister and I'll be finance strategist minister. Yeah, let's just like make up ministers so everybody's happy. So there's actually ministers that are ministers over nothing. Hello, minister. Lieberman has actually been appointed as the finance minister, you know, the guy that was running for prime minister. He's Russian. He apparently doesn't like Arabs at all. Some things I do like about him, he says no loyalty to Israel, no citizenship, which should be like a duh, but it's not. There are people who are citizens, and they love to suck the government dry of funds, but they don't care anything for the country. And speaking of not caring for the country, the Palestinian president Mahmoud Abbas said last week that the Palestinian Authority will no longer fund Palestinians getting medical help in Israeli hospitals. The reason Palestinian Arabs go to Israeli hospitals is because the Israeli hospitals are better, and Israelis are happy to help them, sometimes for free. So subsequently, a 6-year-old girl has died because they had to stop her treatment at an Israeli hospital. The other thing the president has said is that if he catches any Palestinian Arabs selling land to Jews in the West Bank, they're dead. The U.S. defense head Gates is trying to reassure the world that Israel is not going to bomb Iran this year. This being the same guy that told the world that America was not prepared to handle North Korea, and then the next day they sent out 2 destroyers to North Korea. So no, Israel's not going to bomb Iran this year. Don't worry. Promise. Lieberman has been named the foreign minister. That means that he represents us to the world. So he starts his career by telling the Egyptian president to go to hell. Yes. Some international offices called the prime minister to ask for clarification of what he meant. Define hell. I personally think they need to require etiquette lessons before they let these people into office. Class, people. Manners. Not hell. You don't tell an enemy nation, go to hell if you want to be friends with them. But speaking of Egypt and our wonderful relations with them, last week we celebrated 30 years of peace of sorts with Egypt. And it was like a royal denied high five. Like, Egypt, 30 years together. Egypt's like, 30 years? What 30 years? Israel did this big artwork display of all the beauties of Egypt, and Egypt was like, so you probably heard by now that reports came out that Israel attacked a convoy of trucks carrying weapons through Sudan, trying to get to Egypt and then smuggle them into Gaza. So Israel annihilates these trucks and everybody in them, and Sudan screams genocide. Do you get this? Darfur is now lecturing Israel on genocide over 39 dead people. But on a side note, maybe the English second language teacher should be fired for not defining genocide to this official. And finally, a Jewish judge has been appointed to oversee the investigation of the human rights violations in Gaza. Israel is not really sure they're going to cooperate, and I don't blame them because the entire investigation is over the dead people in Gaza as opposed to the dead people in Israel. So what good could possibly come out of this? They prove that Israel didn't do war crimes, and who's going to believe it? They'll say it was a Jewish judge. So the only thing that can come out of this is more people saying there's proof that Israel did war crimes.